Hey guys, welcome to the 5th episode of TAD. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Dylan Corfield, also known as Jeffrey Cletus. Dylan, do you have anything you'd like to say?
I'm just happy to be here today, Matthew. I'm very excited for the 5th episode. This is going to be a very exciting episode for today.
We're very excited to have you. And before we start, I just want to say sorry for not uploading anything for the past few weeks. Just been pretty busy with benchmarks and everything. But some news you might have missed. Donald Trump is attacking Ted Cruz's wife. Marco Rubio dropped out. Obama went to Cuba. A bunch of terrorist attacks too, so it's just your average day in our world. So, now to get to Jeffrey.
Yes, ma'am.
Jeffrey, you've said before that you are a Donald Trump supporter, right?
I am very much so.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about Donald Trump?
I mean,
Why you like him?
I think he's a very honest man. I think he's going to be, if he goes in there, I'd much rather have somebody in there that's going to mess up and tell us about it. Like, I don't want somebody to go in there and, like, lie about it and just tell us that he's, like, being perfect and everything. It's just, like, Donald's going to be in there and be honest, you know what I'm saying?
Donald, every time he does something wrong, though, he never apologizes for it for excuses. How do you counter that?
I do understand, but I think that's all part of his plan. He likes to back up and support himself a lot, and I think that's like an important part of his campaign and what he's doing.
And the way he kind of manipulates the media to get him on there all the time. It's like the thing about Donald is I don't know if he necessarily means everything he says.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to get a lot of media coverage, and it's working pretty well for him.
Yeah, it is.
So.
I agree, and I think Donald's doing pretty good. I think the other thing, he just needs to tone it down just like a slight bit. I mean, he's being a little too aggressive, but aggressive is good, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, a lot of people like a leader that will show some strength.
Yeah.
I mean, he's channeling the anger of the last 8 years.
Yes.
And all the just leaning over, as some of his fans put it.
Yeah. And, like, it's like he's, like, different from all the other ones. Like, all the other ones I feel are, like, trying to, like, be fake in a sort of way. Like, each one of them have, like, their weaknesses that they try to, like, keep away. But Donald's just up there, and he's just strong and push forward, and, he's not really weak in any way. I mean, he has his weaknesses, but he's also very strong, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. What would you say your favorite part about his policy is?
I'd say his strongest.
Your favorite, your personal favorite, the favorite thing that he says that he'll do.
I think that he's gonna keep out a lot of immigrants, illegal immigrants. I mean, they come in here and they take a lot of our jobs, and we're always talking about how so many Americans are, live in poverty and are homeless. But if we like cut down on the amount of illegal immigrants, it'll raise the homeless percentage. Can't think of words here.
So what do you think would be the best way to build a wall? Like, do you think it would be a good idea to just build like a Great Wall of China, or do you think they should just secure the border with a gate?
I think building like a Great Wall of China kind of like concept would be a little too much, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'd just be like overwhelming and too extreme.
They've run estimates on how much it would cost. It'd be about $8 billion for like a wall of that sort.
Yeah, so I think that's like, we already have enough debt, and we don't need to be spending more. So I think if we can use like the less expensive option out of all this, it would be our best option.
Yeah, because I mean, they say there's about 700 feet of the border that's unsecured. So instead of just getting rid of it all and building a whole wall,
yeah.
I mean,
just add on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just finish it almost. That's how you deal with it.
Yes, sir.
So how do you think he'll deal with ISIS?
I think that's how I would turn them into glass. Nothing's ever there except for sand and them. It's just ridiculous. Like, try to get out as many civilians as possible, and whatever you can do, and just bomb.
How do you think he'll deal with other world leaders like Putin and Kim Jong-un?
I think he'll be up front and forward with them, and he'll be like he's been doing. He'll be aggressive, but I think he'll be also understanding at points, and support what some of they say, and just disagree with some of whatever else they say,
And we were talking about this earlier, and a lot of people bring this up. Do you think, like, if he got elected, he'd step up to the job and he'd tone it down a lot and actually like, be reasonable with these leaders, such as Putin?
I think he would be. I don't think he'd tone it down too much. He might settle down after about a year or so of being in office. But after about a year or so, he might just stay the way he is, you know what I'm saying? It's just
So if it came, I just want to ask. So where do you consider yourself on the spectrum? Where would you say you fall? Like right or left or middle?
I'd say a little more right than left. I really do not support being more towards the left, but definitely right a little more.
So who do you think would be a great vice president for Donald Trump? Just out of all the Republicans who ran this, all 17 of them, who do you think would be? Kasich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a very good vice president. I think he'd be back up Donald with some of his stuff, and I think he'd also push him in the right direction. And
his level-headedness could kind of even out everything,
and maybe bring Donald down to another level, down to a more calm and more respectable level.
And now that you said you're pretty much you're saying you're a Republican.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to see, what is your opinion on Hillary Clinton?
I can't stand her.
You can't stand her?
She's like a female Hitler, if you would. I can't stand her. If she was in office, I don't know. I'd probably have to move to Mexico or somewhere.
How about your opinion on Senator Bernie Sanders?
I mean, Bernie, he's a bit too old to be going for office. He's going to be in there he might die during his term. You don't know. He's getting old, a little bit senile. There might be some health issues that we just don't need for a president right now. You know what I'm saying?
For his ideology, how do you feel about that, though?
I think Bernie has some good points. I feel like he's also level-headed at some points, and he likes to also attack at some points. But I think he's outright. I mean, overall, I think he's kind of level-headed, but he can also be aggressive like Trump at some points.
Do you feel as though he's reasonable?
Yeah, I do actually. I do kind of feel like he's reasonable, but he also does want to spend a lot of money on a lot of things, and I don't really support that per se. But I like a bunch of his other ideas.
Out of all 5 left, who would you say is the most genuine, in your opinion?
Most genuine? Kasich.
Kasich?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's...
I think he'd be most genuine.
Also now, I want to talk about drums a little bit.
Drums.
So how, ninth grade, you're in 9th grade.
Yeah.
Snare player.
Yes,
how does it feel? Top of the food chain.
It feels pretty good. I'm a little bit worried about next year. I mean, I heard there might be another person leaving the snare line for next year, so there might be 3 spots open. But I'm seriously doubting that, so it's a little bit scary. I don't know where I'm going to end up next year. I mean, I'm probably going to be put on cymbals, and that's fine for the first year. But if I could, I'd really like to push for snare.
What would your best alternative? What do you feel would be your favorite alternative to snare?
Oh, I can't really read quad music, so it'd probably have to be bass drum.
Yeah, dude, bass drum.
Yes,
that's what I play. That's why. Yeah. So Jeffrey, could you just tell us a little bit about the Altoona area junior high school varsity band and everything it's done this year?
I think we've made do with what we have. I mean, we've had a very small band compared to other years. I mean, a lot of people drop out, a lot of people stop, and that's just due to family issues and other things that are set aside, not for band particularly, but at home problems and things. But I think we're doing all right. I mean, we're reading high school level music for the next concert. It's kind of more advanced, a little more difficult, but I think we like a challenge. I think we'll be able to handle it.
That's April 26th, correct?
I believe so.
And you're going to be having the drumline feature there?
Yes, sir. The skit and all.
You guys heard it. April 26th at Altoona Area Junior High School, varsity band is going to have the drumline skit in their final concert for the year. And Jeffrey, before we leave, I have one more question about the band.
Of course.
How do you feel for adjudication this year? Do you feel you guys, if you were at adjudication this minute, do you feel that you're prepared?
At this minute, considering we have not ran through our marching setup and such, I think we would not be as prepared as we could be. I think we would do all right, but I think we could do better if we had practiced for a week or so. So
do you think you guys can accomplish a superior rating and live up to the standard that my grade and, well, not my grade, but my band and the bands before us have set?
As of if we were to play right now, or as if
when the time comes?
I think absolutely we'll be able to accomplish a superior rating. I think we've made great strides this year. I mean, at the beginning of the year we were all right, but I think we've definitely become more advanced and better musicians altogether.
Yeah, I have to say, from what I've heard, I mean, especially that Star Wars piece, that was really good. I really liked it.
Thank you, sir.
The only thing, what do you feel is your guys' strong point, actually? We're going to ask a little more before we go.
I think our strong point is definitely playing the more slower parts and the more like musically diverse parts, not as just like playing fast and loud. I think we're like that's what
So you guys
what
are musical.
Sets, yeah, that's like what sets junior high bands from great junior high bands is that we can play slow and fast and dynamically at the same time. So.
And then, how do you feel about marching? Do you feel that you guys are prepared?
I feel like we are. Our marching could use a bit of work, but I think it's fine as it is now. But I mean, it could definitely use a little bit of improvement.
Yeah, well, hey, thank you for coming here today to be on TAD.
Yep, no problem. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And hey, everyone, just root for these guys. They're going to be going to Six Flags. Do you know when?
I do not. It's like I think it's like one of the second to last week of school or something.
Yeah, these guys are going. They are going to get a superior rating. You heard it from Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
You know what? My grade did it. My band did it. The band before me did it.
I think we
You
have a
guys
very
can do
good. I think we have a very great chance at accomplishing a superior rating.
Yeah, so wish them good luck, and thanks for tuning in. Be sure to listen to us on YouTube if you're listening to us on Spreaker, and be sure to like us on Facebook. Thank you guys, and I'll see you later.